Hello guys, my name is Abhishek De. Today I am going to discuss the class and object of the Python programming language. But before starting this particular class and object, I want to suggest you that please visit the previous tutorials that will help you out to understand this topic also. So let us flip to our Python window and let us do the practicals and understand how the class and object can help out the Python programming language in order to develop the application. Now guys, before going to start what is class and what is object in the Python, we need to understand the basic concept of the class and object. What is class and what is object? At first we need to understand the concept of the class. What is basically the class? See, class is nothing but a one kind of conceptual representation. It's a one kind of conceptual template of some entities that can share common attributes and behavior. Suppose the thing is that I am telling you, suppose there is a class or there is a category called employee. Now the thing is that in this particular employee category, some behaviors are present that each and every employee they are receiving the salary. Each and every employee they definitely deserve the leave. So it might be the CEO of the organization or top level peon of top level CEO to bottom level peon. Whatever the things are there, we can understand everyone is deserving salary, everyone is deserving the leave, right? So in this particular situation, what we can understand, what we can figure out, we can figure out that class is nothing but a one kind of category, and in this particular category, we are able to define certain behaviors. Now, point to be noted, we are defining some behaviors like in the case of like employee, we can define that behavior can be the salary calculation, behavior can be the leave calculation, or any other things can be happened. Now, if I want to define the class and object through a definition, what should be the definition? We can say that class is what? We can say it's a one kind of conceptual representation. It's a one kind of conceptual representation of some entities. Okay, so let us understand the particular thing. I am writing any kind of small notes for you guys that you can understand. We can write here class is the conceptual representation of some entities. Class is the conceptual representation of some entities that can share common behavior, that can share the common behavior, so the all the set of behaviors, but each and every entities will have individual attributes. So we can understand here, we can what we can understand here, we can understand that class is what? Class is a conceptual representation of some entities. Means some entities are there. Suppose the thing is that there is an organization, in the organization lot of employees are working, each and every employee they deserve leave, they deserve salary, they deserve other facility. It might be possible that salary range can be different based on the designation or the qualification or the skill set, but the thing is that end of the day everyone is getting salary. So we can say that if there is a behavior called salary calculation, this behavior is shareable among all the objects, right? We can say guys this particular thing. Now let's understand this particular thing that like we can understand, okay, that is a particularly category. We can say in this particular category we have certain behaviors are present and all the behaviors are shareable among all the objects. Now if I want to define the class by other means or the other definition, what we can define? Class is the blueprint of collection of entities. Class is the blueprint of collection of entities, right? These entities later on we can understand it will be called actually object. So it's a basically a conceptual entity. It's a concept. Suppose I have an organization. In the organization, if some 5 or 6 employees are working, I provide them the salary, then the organization actually exists. Before that, if I form any kind of organization but no employees are working there, is it possible that organization is properly providing the proper behavior or the utility? Answer is no. That time no one is there to share the behavior of the salary calculation or the leave calculation, or my something like that, my utilities are not providing the desired service. So whatever the behaviors are there in the organization, these behaviors are actually shareable among all the objects. So if I want to define what is basically the object, what should be the proper definition of the object, we can say object is the instance of a class. Object is the instance of a class which can share common behaviors but has unique attributes. Now, guys, in this particular case, we can say it can share common behaviors but has the unique attributes. Now, let us take a real-time example. In the organization, 10 employees are working. Each and every employees are getting the salary. That is also fine. But just try to understand, every employee must have their own unique employee ID. Employee ID cannot be same. You can say that, sir, actually name can also be same, name can be repeated, but every person is end of the day individual, guys. So the thing is that employee ID, name, Aadhaar number, PAN number, address, phone number, email ID, all are basically the unique data, guys. So when we are actually working with the unique data, guys, that time actually what is getting happened here, we can say that in this particular case, each and every object will have their unique attribute, but each and every employees are getting salary, so it might be possible that all employees are actually sharing the behaviors. So now let us understand it by the practical. Okay, so if you want to take this particular note, you can pause the video and also you can take down the note also. Now let us start the practical. So I'll write some code, guys. Here, suppose class employee, here I can define one thing called def. Suppose I am writing here accept. Suppose there is a thing called accept. So always you need to understand that behavior is always defined by the function, but function inside the class is actually called method. You need to understand behavior always defines by the function, but technically speaking, function under the class is actually called, technically it is called a method. So here I can write, guys, self keyword, and after that what I'm defining here, you need to understand here. So self, what is the utility of the self keyword, I'll tell you, guys, but end of the lesson I'll tell you. If I speak this particular thing, you will not understand. Now try to focus on the only method of the method or the function inside the class. Now here I define few things. Suppose I define the self dot eid, I define here, and also I defined, suppose, integer input, enter the id. After that, you can write here, guys, self dot name. You can write here input, and also you can mention here enter the name. Self dot I define, want to define here, suppose age, or I define here the salary. Okay, fine, salary I define. So here I define salary. I am taking the salary as a float type of data. Float. I'm taking the input here. So enter the salary. Now I want to define what? I want to define the overtime. You can understand, guys. Here I define the EID, name, salary, overtime. All are basically the variables. Okay. So here again, here you can define like this, like take it as overtime. And next one you can take also like self dot TS means total salary. I can define here self dot you can see that salary is coming right now automatically. Self dot, I can take the overtime. Now guys, now do one thing, keep the name class1.py. I'm keeping the name as the class1.py here. After that, do one thing, create the new function called def calculate salary. So it is actually calculating the salary. What I want actually, I want to keep this particular instruction inside actually calculate salary. Okay. After that, what I am writing here, it is already do all the calculations. Now I take the def display. Here it is finally display the result, final result. Here we can define print employee ID, comma self dot eid. You need to guys mention the self there. If you don't mention the self, it will show the error. Why error? What is the reason behind it? I will tell you everything. But before that, let me write the code. Name, comma, here I can define self dot, and guys, I'll request you to follow each and everything because it will make you understand that how the things are working, how the things are writing in the case of Python, how the codes are written. Uh, After that, I can write here total salary equals to what I can define here, self dot, I can define self dot ps means total salary. Now guys, we have completed our coding part. We have already defined the class and object. But now, if I debug this particular code, now you will see nothing is coming. Nothing is coming. Why it is not coming? Now try to understand. Class is basically the employee, right? Class is basically the employee. I have from the organization, but still now I have not hired the employee, any employee, or the object of the employee is not present here. If I hire any kind of employee, that time I am able to get the employee object now. So if I am not hiring anyone, is it possible for me to give the salary, process their result, personal information? Answer is big no. So I have to hire an employee right now. So here I write E1 equal to employee. So here E1 is the employee object. E1 is now calling the, you can see it is calling the accept function. E1 object is calling the calculate salary, calculate function, or the method, or it is calling the display. So guys, here I have defined all those things. Now try to deploy the code, try to execute the code right now. Now enter the ID1, name is John, he is getting the 12,000 of salary, 6,000 of overtime. So see, we got the result. Employee ID 1, name John, total salary is 18,000. So E1 is what? E1 is the object of the employee. Suppose, to make you understand, I can make this particular thing more easier part. Like print, I can define here, suppose employee 1, right? Now what I can do here actually, I can write here print, and also I can define here employee employee number 2. So here I can define what? I'll take this particular code, 1 minute, then let us edit the code, make it E2, because now I am going to hire the second employee right now guys, E2 and E2. Now guys, if you execute the code, you will see employee 1 is coming. I am entering the record of the employee 1 Ram. He is getting 12,000 salary, 5,000 of overtime. Now enter ID number 2. I am entering the Sham. He is getting 22,000 of salary and 4,000 of overtime. So guys, what I can understand here, I am getting the output. So here what we can understand, we are creating the object, and by using the object we are able to call the method. Now guys, you can notice one thing, I have always defined the self keyword. Now what is self keyword? Self keyword is nothing but the current object. Self keyword is nothing but what? It is nothing but the current object. Current object means what actually? When E1 object is calling the method, when the E1 object is calling the method, E1 is what? E1 is the object. Object is object of whom? Object of the employee class. So when the E1 object, it is calling the accept, that time we are actually, here you can see we are not sending any kind of arguments, but by default an object invisibly we are defining there. So self keyword is actually able to store that thing. Now you can provide the self keyword, that is becoming the industry standard keyword nowadays. You can keep the other keyword also. Now if you are asking me, if I don't give the self keyword, what would be happen? You will get the error, guys. Execute the code. You can see type error, accept takes 0 positional arguments but 1 was given. So it keeps saying you that it doesn't have any kind of parameters, but you are sending one argument here, means in this particular case there should be a dedicated parameter to take on the argument specific data. So now use the self keyword. Now you just execute the code. You can see everything is working very fine. Item number 2, we are entering some name, we are entering something 12,000, 5,000. Now if you want to enter the 2, already 2 is given, fine. 15,000, 4,000, total salary is 19,000, like this. So guys, that is basically the basic area of the class and object, guys. Today we'll just start the introduction of the class and object. In our next tutorial, actually I'll continue this class and object concept. Today I have discussed the very basic thing. In our next tutorial, I'll discuss the more advanced level things of the class and object. Till there you have to wait. And if you think that this particular video tutorial is providing you the little bit benefit, please do like, subscribe my channel, please share the video. It is giving me lots of motivation, guys, to make the other videos also. So please do this particular thing, guys. I'll publish more videos because I am planning to start the data science series from now, from onwards. Whatever the data science you are learning from other institution, like by investing 25 or the 30,000 of money, I just share you each and every code, each and every data also. At future, actually I'll share you my GitHub link in the free of cost. So that's why I am telling you, I am encouraging you to like, share and subscribe my channel, that you can understand the things, how the things are working. Okay guys, so here I am keeping up my tutorial, and in the new tutorial we are going to meet again. So from there, do your practicing and do some coding on the Python and enjoy. Thank you.